Now I'll continue demonstrating the 10th round. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 back post single crochet into the beginning chain. Then pick up the stitch and correspondingly make 3 back post single crochets. Then chain 1. Next, work 1 variation of HDC 3 puff stitch onto the FPDC 4 tog. One chain. Continue working back post single crochets corresponding to the stitches on the double crochets. Finish with 1 chain. Work 1 variation of HDC 3 puff stitch onto the FPDC 4 tog. Chain 1. Continue hooking correspondingly according to this method. After completing the last back post single crochet, join with a slip stitch in the starting stitch. The 10th round is completed. At this point, you can measure the dimension of the fabric piece. Compare it with the dimensions given in the pattern chart. If there is a significant difference, adjust your tension and rehook the last few rounds to prevent the size from being incorrect, to avoid the wrong size. Now move on to round 11. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain. Pick up the 2 strands of yarn behind the position of the next standing stitch and work 1 single crochet. An approximate position is fine. Continue with 10 chain stitches. When you reach the next continuous back post single crochet position, from the right, pick up the 2 strands of yarn behind the 5th back post single crochet. And work 1 single crochet. If you can't find the exact position, you can pick up the 2 strands of yarn at an approximate position. For the rest of the single crochets, insert the hook and work them using the same method. In between, use 10 chain stitches as a transition. Finish this round. End with a slip stitch. Round 11 is completed. Continue to round 12. Work 1 slip stitch in the chain space on the left side for the transition. Make 3 chain stitches as your beginning chain. Work 11 double crochets in the same chain space. For the following chain spaces, work 12 double crochets in each. Finish this round. End with a slip stitch. Round 12 is completed. Finally, work round 13. This round needs to connect the two sides of the main piece. Start with 1 chain stitch as your beginning chain. Work 1 back post single crochet in the chain stitch below. Continue with 2 more back post single crochets. Then work a CH3 picket and connect it to the main piece. Start with 1 chain stitch. Take the main piece. Here, I will demonstrate with a small sample. The starting point should be facing up, with the right side facing you, on the right edge of the first row of the main piece, which is the side where the ending double crochet is. Insert the hook into the approximate position of the edging and slip stitch. Then work 1 chain stitch. Return to the current motif. Continue to complete the CH3 picket. This will connect it. For the next picket stitch position, connect it in the same way. Follow this method. Replace the middle chain stitch with a slip stitch or another stitch for the connection. Continue with 2 more back post single crochets. One CH3 picket. From now on, we'll call it a picket stitch. Repeat this 2 more times. After completing, work 3 more back post single crochets. Finish this group of double crochets. Then work 1 chain stitch. In the 11th round below, work 1 single crochet, work 1 variation of HDCD3 puff stitch. Slightly enlarge the loop. One picket stitch. Insert the hook into these 2 strands and slip stitch. 1 chain stitch. We will treat the stitches we have already worked as one group. Continue to work 2 more groups. No connection needed. After completing, continue to the next group. When you reach the fourth picket stitch, connect to the other side of the main piece. Here, I'm demonstrating with this small sample. In practice, you will connect to the other side of the main piece. With the right side facing up. Crochet and edging with slip stitches along the edge of the first row's beginning chain. The method is the same as before. Complete the picket stitch. Continue with 3 back post single crochets. One chain stitch. 1 variation of HDCD3 puff stitch. One picket stitch, and connect to the main piece. Here, slip stitch at the corresponding position, on the side of the second row. This completes the connection on this side. Continue crocheting the entire round according to the pattern for one group. When working the last picket stitch, pay attention to connecting to the right side of the starting point. That is, the approximate corresponding position, on the side of the second row of the main piece. After completing, crochet 1 chain stitch. Slip stitch and fasten off the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. Also hide the starting tail of the yarn. This completes motif 1. And the joining to the main piece is also complete. Continue learning motif 2. Start with a magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Pay attention to the connection in the last round. The new stitch technique used is half double crochet. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. First, make a magic ring. Then crochet the first round. Start with 1 chain stitch. Crochet 12 single crochets into the hole. After completing, pull the yarn loop tight. Finish with a slip stitch in the starting stitch. The first round is complete. Continue to crochet the second round. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Correspond to the first single crochet below. Chain 5 as a transition. Skip 1 stitch and crochet 1 double crochet. Continue to crochet double crochets, skipping 1 stitch each time. In between, chain 5 as a transition. Finally, finish with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. The second round is complete. Now crochet the third round. Start with 1 chain stitch as the beginning chain. Crochet 1 single crochet in the left chain space. 1 half double crochet. 3 double crochets. 1 half double crochet. And 1 single crochet. We will crochet these stitches in the chain space. This will form 1 petal for this round. Continue picking up chain spaces to crochet more petals. Finish crocheting this round. Finally, end with a slip stitch in the starting single crochet. The third round is complete. Continue to crochet the fourth round. Start with 3 chain stitches from the back. Insert the hook into the gap in the middle of the petals from the previous round. Pick up the chain loop and crochet 1 single crochet. The insertion position here should be roughly in the middle. 7 chain stitches. Continue inserting the hook into the gap in the middle of the next petal from behind. Crochet 1 single crochet. Follow this method to finish crocheting this round. Finally, end with a slip stitch in the starting single crochet. The transition chain should be placed at the back. The fourth round is complete. Finally, crochet the fifth round. This round needs to connect to motif 1. Here, I will demonstrate using the left motif as an example. First, crochet 1 chain stitch. In the left chain space, crochet 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 5 double crochets. One half double crochet and 1 single crochet. We will work the stitches in the space. This will serve as 1 petal for this round. Continue to crochet 2 more petals in the space. After completing, connect to motif 1. The connection point here can also be adjusted according to your preference. Note that the beginning position of motif 2 should stick close to the main part. Pick up the position where motif 1 is already connected. At the 5th picket stitch on the right side. Insert the hook into the picket space, or behind the next 2 threads. Work 1 double crochet. For the swatch, directly insert the hook into the picket space to connect. Continue crocheting the petals. Take a look between these 2 stitches. Connect to other positions. You can simply crochet 1 double crochet or another stitch between the stitches. Continue to crochet the entire round. Join with a slip stitch. Leave a 30 cm tail and fasten off the yarn. The yarn tail here will be used later for sewing the overlapping section with the main part. Leave it for now. Hide the starting tail on the wrong side. Now motif 2 is crocheted and connected. Next, let's learn motif 3. Use the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Connect the last round in the same way. The new stitch technique used is the variation of DC2 bobble stitch and the variation of DC3 bobble stitch. T are 2 tog and front post single crochet. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. Start with a magic ring. Then crochet the first round. Begin with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. This doesn't count as 1 stitch. Then work 1 variation of DC2 bobble stitch. First, make 2 unclosed double crochets. Yarn over, insert the hook, draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The first stitch is completed. Continue with the second stitch. Then yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Yarn over again, and draw through all loops. One variation of DC2 bobble stitch is done. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Then work 1 variation of DC2 bobble stitch. First, make 2 unclosed double crochets. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 2 times. The variation of DC2 bobble stitch is done. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Follow the pattern chart to complete this round. After completing the last 3 chain stitches, tighten the loops. Then finish with a slip stitch in the starting stitch. The first round is complete. Move on to round 2. Start with a slip stitch in the left chain space. Make 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. In the same space, work 1 variation of DC3 bobble. First, make 3 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over and draw through the first 3 loops. Yarn over and draw through all the remaining loops. Work 3 more chain stitches. In the same space, work another 1 variation of DC3 bobble. First, make 3 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over and draw through the first 3 loops. Yarn over and draw through all the remaining loops. 1 variation of DC3 bobble is completed. 3 chain stitches. For this round, in each chain space from the previous round, work 2 sets of the variation of DC3 bobble. Between each set of puff, bobble stitches, use 3 chain stitches as a transition. Finish this round. The yarn tail at the back can be woven in together. End with a slip stitch. The second round is complete. Continue with the third round, following the chart. Everyone, complete it. Next, I'll demonstrate the fourth round. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Work 1 double crochet into the next stitch on the left. Then, work 1 tr2 tog. First, work 2 incomplete treble crochets. Yarn over twice. Insert the hook into the slip stitch position from the second round. Here, pick up the stitch from back to front. Draw the yarn through. Slightly enlarge the loop. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this twice. The first stitch is done. Continue with the second stitch. Yarn over twice. Insert the hook into the stitch on the left side of the second round. Note that the stitch from the previous round should be placed behind. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this twice. The second stitch is done. Yarn over and draw through all the loops once. The tr2 tog is complete. Make 1 more double crochet in the left stitch. Work 2 double crochets in the chain space. Continue to work 2 double crochets in the corresponding stitch. 1 tr2 tog. First, correspondingly make 2 incomplete treble crochets into the second insertion point of the previous tr2 tog and the next variation stitch of the second round on the left side. Finally, yarn over and draw through all the loops once. The tr2 tog is complete. Make 1 double crochet in the left double crochet. From here on, follow the chart to complete this round using this method. Pay attention to not missing this double crochet. For adjacent tr2 togs, insert the hook into the same stitch. Finish with a slip stitch. The 4th round is completed. Continue with the 5th round. First, make slip stitches in the 2 stitches on the left side. Chain 1 to start. In the bottom T are 2 tog stitch, make 1 single crochet, chain 6. Continue to pick up the T are 2 tog stitches and make single crochets, chain 6 as a transition between them. Work the entire round. Finish with a slip stitch. The 5th round is completed. Now, work the 6th round. This round needs to be connected. Start with 1 chain to begin. In the bottom T are 2 tog. Make 1 single crochet front post stitch. Here, insert the hook from the front for this stitch. Make 1 single crochet. The single crochet front post stitch is done. In the left chain space, make 4 double crochets. Make 1 picot and connect. Here, make 1 chain stitch. In the single crochet on the corresponding petal of motif 2, make 1 double crochet. You can refer to the diagram for the connection position. Alternatively, you can tidy up the fabric. Determine the appropriate position according to your preference. When the distance is close, connect with a slip stitch. If it's a bit longer, work a double crochet. Chain 1 more stitch. Complete the picot. You can see that the picot is connected here, similar to the picot connection in motif 1. For longer connections later, follow the demonstration here. Work 3 double crochets in the same hole. Below the T are 2 tog, work 1 front post single crochet. In the next hole, work 4 double crochets. One picot stitch. And connect it to motif 2. Follow this method. And continue to crochet the entire round following the chart. Don't forget to connect the main part. finish with a slip stitch and cut the yarn. Weave in the ends. This completes motif 3 and connects it properly. Next, let's learn motif 4. Here, there are 2 consecutive ones. The technique is similar to motif 2. Connect in the last round. Connect the first motif 4 to motif 3. And the main part at these 3 positions. The joining method is also similar to motif 2, after completing the third double crochet of the petal. Work a single crochet to connect to the corresponding position. Then continue crocheting. Connect the second motif 4 to the previous motif 4 and the main part. Here, work a double crochet to connect between the stitches. The specific connecting stitch technique. Everyone should complete it. That concludes the explanation for motif 4. For the next motif 3, refer to the chart to crochet and connect. All connections are made by changing the stitch at the picket positions. Everyone should complete it. Next, we will learn motif 5. Use the magic ring method, crochet in rounds counterclockwise, for the final connection. The new stitch technique used is the front post crochet pattern. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. Start with the foundation chain and the first round. The crochet technique is similar to motif 1. I have already completed this part in advance. Continue to crochet the second round. Begin carrying the yarn across. Stretch the loop. Pull through. Then, insert your hook for the starting chain at the front. Draw the yarn through. Then make 5 chain stitches. In the second chain stitch, make 2 double crochets. Next, on the left side, make a front post double crochet pattern. Yarn over 3 times. Insert your hook for a double crochet at the front. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 4 times. Then, pick up the middle 2 strands and make 2 double crochets. If you can't find the exact position, just pick up about 2 strands. One front post double crochet pattern is completed. Continue picking up long stitches to crochet this front post double crochet pattern. Finish this round. Finally, end with a slip stitch in the starting chain. The second round is complete. Now, let's move on to the third round. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Insert the hook into the spot below and make 1 double crochet. On the left stitch, correspondingly make 2 double crochets. On the next front post double crochet pattern, correspondingly make 1 DC 2 in 1 and 2 double crochets. Repeat this process to finish this round. Finally, end with a slip stitch. The third round is complete. Continue to the fourth round. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain on the starting chain below, and the left double crochet. Make 1 FPDC2 tog. On the left side, continue to make 1 FPDC2 tog. Five chain stitches. We will consider the chain stitches and these 2 FPDC2 tog as one group. Continue crocheting this group to complete the round. After completing the last FPDC2 tog, 2 chain stitches. On the starting FPDC2 tog stitch, make 1 double crochet to join. The fourth round is completed. Continue to crochet the fifth round. Everyone refer to the chart to crochet. At the end, pay attention to making a half double crochet to join. The fifth round is completed. For the sixth round, everyone refer to the chart to crochet. The seventh round needs to be connected. The method is similar to before. Crochet a slip stitch to join at the picket position. Connect the stitches with a double crochet at the corresponding positions. Everyone refer to the chart to complete it. That concludes the explanation for Motif 5. Next, let's learn Motif 6. The technique is similar to Motif 2. The last round connects to the corresponding positions of Motif 1 and Motif 3. Everyone complete it. That concludes the explanation for Motif 6. Next, let's learn Motif 7. Here, Motif 7 is crocheted and connected on the other side after these motifs are completed. Then crochet it. It connects to Motif 1 and the 2 Motif 6s on either side. Motif 7 also uses the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The stitch techniques used have been demonstrated before. The last round connects at the picket positions. Everyone refer to the chart to complete it. That concludes the explanation for Motif 7. Next, let's learn Motif 8. Use the foundation chain and magic ring method to crochet in rounds. After completing it, sew it to the corresponding position. The new stitch techniques used are the treble crochet and double treble crochet. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. Start with a chain of 10. Fold it in half. Position the braid texture facing you. Join with a slip stitch in the outer half loop of the first chain stitch. The starting chain is now complete. Next, crochet 4 chain stitches. Work 1 double crochet in the starting chain hole. Chain 4. 1 treble crochet, yarn over twice, insert, draw the yarn through, yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops, repeat 3 times. Chain 4. 1 treble crochet, chain 4. 1 double treble crochet, yarn over 3 times. Insert, draw the yarn through, yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops, repeat 4 times. The double treble crochet is completed. Continue crocheting stitches symmetrical to the right side. After completing the last 4 chain stitches, at the starting slip stitch position, work 1 slip stitch. Continue crocheting chain stitches. Refer to the chart for the specific number of chain stitches. After completing, start from the second to last stitch. Correspondingly make slip stitches. After completing, slip stitch into the left chain space. Slightly tighten. Then make 3 beginning chains. Refer to the chart to crochet corresponding stitches in the holes and stitch patterns. You can weave in the yarn tails here. After completing the last 3 chain stitches, slip stitch into the same hole. Leave a 30 cm tail and cut the yarn. Trim any remaining yarn tails. This completes one motif 8. Next, sew the motif 8 to the corresponding position. Here, I will demonstrate using a small sample. Thread the yarn tail into a sewing needle. The right side with clear texture should face up. Refer to the chart. Place it in the corresponding position. For the specific location and orientation, you can refer to the chart, or determine it according to your preference. Just find a few connecting points to sew. The position of the small sample is random. You can sew the chain stitch positions, or you can leave them on soon. It's up to your preference. After securing the corresponding points, thread the needle from inside the fabric. And continue to secure the next position. Finally, tie off and weave in the ends. This will secure one motif 8. Fix the other motif 8s using the same method. Next, learn how to make motif 9. Use the chain ring method to start. Crochet in rounds. After completing, sew and secure it. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. Start with the same beginning chain as motif 8. Then, make 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. In the chain space, work 5 double crochets. You can also secure the yarn tail at the same time. Three chain stitches and 5 double crochets. Three chain stitches. 1 slip stitch. Continue to crochet 15 chain stitches. Return and work a slip stitch in the second to last stitch from your hook. Insert the hook for the slip stitch in the slip stitch position. If you can't find it precisely, just pick a spot nearby. Then, make 3 chain stitches. In the turning chain of the previous row, work 1 DC2 in 1. Pick the top loop of the chain to crochet. Continue to follow the chart and crochet the corresponding stitches. At the end, work a DC2 in 1 in the top loop of the 3 chain stitches. Three chain stitches. Work a slip stitch at the junction. Then, make 1 chain stitch. The completed stitches should be positioned behind. Work a slip stitch in the first left chain stitch. One chain stitch. Work a slip stitch in the third chain stitch. 1 chain stitch. Pick up and work a slip stitch in the corresponding stitch below. Work 1 chain stitch as a transition. After completing the last stitch position, 1 chain stitch. When you reach the chain space, work 1 slip stitch. 3 chain stitches. 1 slip stitch. 1 chain stitch. Continue crocheting symmetrically. After completing the slip stitch in this chain space, pick up and work a slip stitch at the approximate position of the junction. Pull tight. Leave a 30 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. This completes motif 9. Next, sew motif 9 to the corresponding position. The method is the same as for motif 8. Place it according to your preference. Finally, sew and secure motif 2. Use the reserved yarn tail to pick up and secure the edge of the fabric to the main body. Adjust the overlap according to the actual project. Secure well, tie off, and weave in the ends. Complete it. That concludes the crochet and connection of the motifs. Up to this point, we have explained the entire shawl. If you have any unclear points during the crocheting process, don't hesitate to reach out to our customer service, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience. Support your handwork experience. Enjoy the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.